Welcome to Luxscape. Here at Luxscape, we're dedicated to motivating the next generation of wealth. So relax and enjoy while we give you 10 of the biggest places on the planet. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. When you were a kid, have you ever imagined what life would be like if you lived in a palace? Unfortunately, your plans to marry into the royal family never came true. A palace is a majestic residence, particularly a royal residence or the residence of a head of state or other high-ranking official, such as a bishop or archbishop. The term originates from the Palatine Hill in Rome, which was the location of the Roman emperor's homes. Palaces are only palaces if they are luxurious and constructed with the goal of serving as a residence. So you can't just label any ordinary building a palace, because royalty decides to stay there for a bit and it has to be designed specifically for that purpose. They were also designed to impress in order to flaunt the residents' riches and grandeur. Large and stylish, with expensive artwork, furniture and other embellishments, as well as gorgeous gardens, many ancient palaces have been transformed into parliaments, museums, hotels and office buildings. The task of selecting the biggest palaces on the planet is tough because numerous countries claim their palaces are the biggest based on different standards. Today, we will take a look at 10 of the biggest palaces on the planet. Number 10. Buckingham Palace. Featuring 775 rooms and an area of 828,000 square feet, it is London's largest private garden, covering 40 acres of surrounding land. Buckingham Palace is one of the most beautiful and well-known palaces in the world, known as the Queen's House. It was originally built in 1703 as a townhouse for the Duke of Buckingham, but in 1761, King George III bought it for his wife, Queen Charlotte, with the addition of 3 wings and a central courtyard in the early 19th century. The building became less of a townhouse and more of a palace. Buckingham Palace became the official house of the British monarchy when Queen Victoria came to power in 1837, and it still serves as royal headquarters for the United Kingdom today. Number 9. Palace of Veneria. Duke Charles Emmanuel II commissioned the Palace of Veneria in 1675 as a base of operations for his hunting expeditions north of Turin, Italy. Its name originated from the Latin term Venatio Regia, which translates to royal hunt. However, the House of Savoy deployed the palace to become a majestic home for their royal dynasty near the turn of the 18th century. It had taken a blow towards the end of the 18th century and had fallen into abandonment before becoming the Italian military stronghold until 1978, when it was bought by the Ministry of Culture. The restoration of the 861,000 square foot Palace of Veneria began in 1999 and became Europe's largest restoration project before being introduced to the public in 2007. Number 8. Abdeen Palace. This legendary stronghold, which is now a museum in downtown Cairo, was named after Abdeen Bey, an Albanian commander and Egyptian statesman. After Bey's death in 1863, construction of Abdeen Palace began above his residence, which was designed by French architect Léon Rousseau. Considering its modern structure in comparison to other great palaces, this massive structure is considered one of the most expensive and distinguished due to the abundance of gilded clocks, embellishments and paintings found throughout its hallways. The Abdeen Palace covers 1.1 million square feet in total, with the addition of Sultan Faroud's Eyes Gardens in 1921, bringing the overall area to almost 2 million square feet. Number 7. QUIRINAL Palace. The Palazzo de QUIRINAL, or QUIRINAL Palace in English, is named after the ancient Roman deity Quirinus, who was once worshipped on the hill where it currently stands. It is one of the president of Italy's 3 official residences, and it has served 4 succeeding kings of Italy, 12 presidents, and an incredible 30 popes throughout its existence. During Napoleon's Empire campaign, the QUIRINAL Palace was handpicked to be his royal residence, but he lost in 1814 and this never happened. This palace is 1.19 million square feet in size, but it also has a large garden of over 430,000 square feet. Number 6. Royal Palace of Madrid. The Royal Palace of Madrid, as opposed to most of the other palaces on this list, is still the official residence of the Spanish royal family. Despite his title, Felipe VI, the present King of Spain, and his family had chosen to live at the nearby palace of Zarzuela, which is significantly smaller than this 1.45 million square foot complex. It was constructed between 860 and 880 and served as a defensive fortress for ages before being transformed into a royal home in the early 15th century by John II, King of Castile and Leon. However, a fire in 1734 would entirely destroy it, possibly requiring the construction of a new building that would take nearly 2 decades to finish. Number 5. Forbidden City. The Forbidden City's palace complex is approximately 7.75 million square feet in total, making it the world's largest palace complex. However, the main structure only covers 1.61 million square feet from the rule of the Ming dynasty to the end of Qing dynasty. This vast structure served as China's imperial palace, housing several emperors, their families, and the royal courts. The Forbidden City was the political heart of the Chinese government for merely under 500 years, but it has been under the jurisdiction of the Palace Museum since 1925, with several artifacts from previous dynasties making up the most of its exhibits. Every year, over 16 million tourists visit this sacred, historic World Heritage Site, which is still one of China's most culturally significant monuments. Number 4. Apostolic Palace. The Apostolic Palace, a 1.74 million square foot structure with Vatican City, where the Pope leads the Catholic Church, is also the official residence of the Pope. The Papal Palace, or Palace of the Vatican as it is also known, includes several roles in addition to housing the head of the Catholic Church. It includes the private, state and religious papal apartments, the Catholic churches and the Holy See's offices, several chapels, the Vatican Museums of Art and Sculpture, and the well-known Vatican Library. The Sistine Chapel, however, is undoubtedly the most beloved space in the Apostolic Palace, thanks to the vibrant fresco decor given by celebrated Renaissance artists such as Michelangelo and Sandro Botticelli. Number 3. Louvre Palace. This 2.15 million square foot structure served as the royal residence of the French kings for 3 centuries before becoming the site of the world-famous art museum it is today. The Louvre Palace was built as a military fortress during the Middle Ages under the orders of King Philip II in 1190, just before he embarked on the Third Crusade. It was completed in 1202, but it was subjected to modifications during the Middle Ages. In the mid-13th century, King Louis IX added royal treasury to the palace's purpose, while the Valois dynasty built a courtroom and prison to the structure. In the 14th century, however, Charles V declared it an official royal palace, and Francis I ordered a total makeover of the Louvre's look. Much of the palace was demolished and rebuilt between his and Henry's second reign to make it into a Renaissance-style palace. Ever since, several other modifications have been made within and throughout the Louvre's palace, ultimately resulting in a total area of almost 4.3 million square feet. Number 2. Hofburg Palace. The Hofburg Palace in Vienna, Austria, was built in the 13th century and has continued to grow over the centuries to become the 2.5 million square foot fortress it is now. Since its creation, this structure has served as the official seat of government, although with each upgrade it has gained new features: an imperial chapel, a treasury, an imperial library, the Austrian National Theatre known as the Burgtheater, and the Spanish Riding School are just a few of the highlights of the Hofburg Palace. Number 1. Palace of the Parliament. The Senate and Chamber of Deputies of Romania's parliament are located in this massive structure, which is not only the largest of all palaces but also the world's largest civilian-friendly administrative building. The Palace of the Parliament is roughly 3.5 million square feet in size, with 12 levels above ground and another 8 below ground. The Museum of the Palace, the Museum of Totalitarianism and Socialist Realism, and the National Museum of Contemporary Art are all located in this palace, which serves as a key center for government operations. Which of these big palaces would you most likely want to visit? Please let us know in the comment section below, and if you loved the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.